Welcome to the video. Enjoy the food diaries before I break down my experience with you. That's to come at the end, but enjoy taking a look at all the things that I ate along the way. So it was my last day with my parents this day. It's always really emotional to leave. I now live 5 hours away from where I grew up, and it hits every single time that I leave. I felt it hard this time round. It was definitely telling in what I ate. And I think it was because this time I brought home a lot of old diaries and things like that. So my emotions came out through in my food and lack of food, unfortunately. What I would usually have that is sugary within my days are things like vegan brownie, vegan cookie, chocolate, sweet tea is a huge one, jam on toast. So those are the types of things that are being cut out now. So welcome to a challenge in a lifestyle that I have had my thoughts heavy on for a while now. I'm going to take it there for a second because I think it is very important kōrero. My eyes were open to the manipulation of the giant that is the sugar industry. Earlier around March of this year, I highly recommend watching That Sugar film. That's what it's called. It is a really well-made film and was definitely influential to my decision to try and aspire to a refined sugar-free life. A few months after watching the film, by a stroke of coincidence, a woman in an online group I am in was promoting her challenge that is this 21 days sugar-free challenge because she's all about it. She's a wellness, health, style type. She would encourage us, support us. She was constantly there answering questions. It was such a positive environment to hold yourself accountable in that Facebook group and to cut ties to this really malicious thing we all seem to struggle with in one way or another, and that's sugar. I grew up never having had a sweet tooth. In my entire 22 years of life, I was a carbs over anything. Carbs do, however, convert into glucose in your body, but straight sugary sweets, not my jam. And then I got pregnant, and oh my goodness. More like madness than goodness, but the sugar thing really made itself at home. It was completely uninvited. So I, as a baseline, don't have this long battle against me like others do, unfortunately, with sugar, a lifelong battle. My mum is a nutritionist, and I grew up very much without sugar in my world. Now I understand why. Good job, Mum. First few days of the challenge I endured a few headaches. Now I never get headaches, so this was new to me and it threw me. Not gonna lie, I was definitely overpowered a couple of times by the ache. You can definitely tell that your body is trying to find something. Sugar is so addictive. The fact that it's marketed so heavily to children is actually diabolical. There are some countries in the world that purposefully push their advertising to fruits and vegetables, and they make it not allowed to promote sugar and fast food to children, and I stand behind that too. I don't understand why we don't apply those same rules here, especially when you begin to open your eyes to it. They want to, the corporations, get their hooks into you and young. The capitalist society we all engage in is hella shady and doesn't give a damn about you or your health, I tell ya. %80 of any average supermarket contains sugar. 80%. Think about that. Your bread has sugar in it, your protein bars have sugar, your vitamins, gummy lolly vitamins. Read your labels, my loves. Really check out the film, That Sugar Film. It will blow your mind, and it's like funny as well. It's a really good film. It's not all doco serious, though its main focus is very serious. Two things I have noticed myself are that we as a society genuinely don't know what the heck we celebrate when it comes to our festivities. Sugar takes over events like Halloween and Easter, or their real names, Samhain and Ostara, with the acceptance of innocent sugar-fueled fun, so much so that it's all some people ever put their focus towards on these holidays, which to me now is disgusting. Like, let's respect our changing seasons, shall we? Let's learn why we celebrate the things we do. Samhain, the acknowledgement of colder days to come, the death of nature, preparing for the winter. You know, that scariness that Halloween evokes. Yeah, that's to do with nature resting, the trees shedding leaves. This is when it is said that the veil between life and death is at its thinnest, okay? Preparing our health for the winter. We are at our most vulnerable physically to getting sick, catching colds, and sugar makes you sick, so make it make sense. Then Ostara, or Easter, the whole Easter bunny thing, right? Springtime. Baby animals are born, nature is in bloom, and we celebrated that historically because it's our natural environment, the very thing we coexist with, and we now, as a whole, do not seem to grip this very basic understanding that we are meant to embrace the seasons. But we'll load a cart full of chocolate eggs and a sweet, don't you worry. And then secondly, what I've observed, we have our language, our installed language, where we have sayings so casual like, oh, that is so sweet of you. You are so sweet. Such a sweetheart. Oh, honey, that is so sweet. Which is wild when you wouldn't say to the beloved people in your life, that is so diabetes. Oh, addiction, that is so toxic for my heart of you. This blew my perception of sugar out of the water. Why it is not common to describe things as anti-inflammatory or alkaline, because that actually makes more sense. I definitely didn't have as many cravings as I thought I would in this challenge. I very quickly fell back in love with black tea and coffee, which was amazing because for a minute there I really wasn't convinced I would. Sweet tea while I was pregnant was such a crutch. Once I had had it once, I was ravenous for it. You would have noticed I didn't include footage of every time I drank some water, some tea, some coffee. That was purely for saving the recording space on my phone because I was cutting it close there. Though if it is of interest to you, 2 cups of black coffee in the morning. Barely ever do I see a third, and barely ever does it see a splash of almond milk, but I mean it does happen from time to time. And between 1 and 5 cups of tea during the day is normal for me, which is broad perhaps, but it just depends on the day. I encourage you to try seeing how you do without sugar for a few days. You have my love and you have my support. The biggest, most concerning thing for me that I found doing this was on a couple of occasions I found myself so close to yelling at my daughter. To yell for any reason is not in my character, but the fact that I came close was so scary to me. I was clearly irritable within the detox. It made me think about how it's normal to see people stressed, to see people jump on their impulses rather than to take a moment. Not just mothers, but anybody. And our gut, our food, is our second brain. If you're not aware of this, then I am truly honored to introduce this conversation to you, though I encourage to further research it yourself, as I only know what I know. But what I do know is that your food affects your mental health, period. Sludgy, stodgy foods, a depleted vitamins and mineral count, an addictive relationship to sugar, a lack of health is not it. And this is where this video turns into something that even I wasn't expecting. This challenge opened my eyes to just how crap my eating habits are. Breakfast? Hello? Apparently a foreign concept to me. I don't want it to be. I undereat and I overeat and undereat again. Now sugar may not be my lifelong battle, but the under and over thing, yes. I want to take care of myself and get strong. I've joined the gym. I'm focusing my plan of attack on multiple tiny meals throughout the day so that my metabolism learns to not feel the need to hold on to my food stores, because I go so long without having anything, and then when I do eat, it's definitely more than a recommended serving. A recommended serving for pasta is sad. It's sad. So my body will be holding on to weight as a survival mechanism. Sounds dramatic, but that's exactly what it is. It's like a help, I don't know when you'll next feed us again, so I ain't gonna give away the cushion without a fight, or at least a good enough reason. I did lose weight doing this challenge, and that is what it is. That's great. Like I said, my mum is a nutritionist, so I've grown up knowing these possible little details when it comes to food and body function. I, however, clearly am no expert, but I am open to learning as much as I possibly can. I brought a bunch of workout gear and I'm excited to get strong. Cue the haul. Thank you for watching. I've been branching out my content lately, but you know that art is my life. I have some huge art projects on the way, designing some stage art for a Fire and Flow festival I do, preparing for my New Year's On Festival mural. Check out my video of my latest experience in artist vlog number 5. More art vlogs are coming. Studio vlog number 3 is in the edits. Fire spinning content is on the horizon. I'd like to do a before and after type video touching base on what I've said here, the weight loss, the gym journey, breakfast. So if you're seeing this from the future and notice this was uploaded 6 months ago or more, chances are the update to this will be live right now. I look forward to seeing you there. I'm sure future me is thriving and excited to share it with you, or she's done her best and ready to let it all out, let it all be known. Whatever stage you find yourself in 6 months from now, future Levi, I love you and you deserve everything good and peaceful, so mote it be. Alright, ka kite whānau, aroha nui ngā mihi nui. Mwah. Check out my TikTok, you won't regret it. I am new to the app. I've got fresh new app aspiration or something. I don't know what it is. Go check it out though.